The Realm Beyond update was a disaster, at least in my opinion. Let me explain. Completely reworking the game's visuals that players were so used to for the past 4 years during a time when there were still many other problems in the game wasn't really something that the player base was necessarily longing for. Not to mention that this update also included the addition of new survivor animations, which most people are fine with today, but back then this was considered one of the most controversial changes in DBD's entire history. A video game's aesthetic is certainly a very important part of it. User Baby Shrimp put it really well. It helps set the tone and atmosphere, which obviously helps with the immersion. Horror games are no exception. I mean, find me one person who likes horror but doesn't like the vibe Silent Hill gives off. In fact, would Silent Hill 2 hit the same without its lonely, creepy, liminal atmosphere? I don't think so. Dead by Daylight clearly started as a horror game. The Macmillan estate had its characteristic blue tint, Coldwind Farm was a nighttime orange, and Autohaven Wreckers had the foggy green, which fortunately is still in the game to this day. Every single realm that was released shortly after that followed the same few principles. Crotaspren Asylum felt rundown and creepy, Haddonfield was dark and eerie, Backwater Swamp foggy, and so on. But ever since the Realm Beyond update, every map has been going further and further away from these initial design principles. For example, it's clearly daytime on the current Eyrie of Crows, Coldwind Farm, Ormond, and Garden of Joy. Let me repeat, it's literally daylight in a game called Dead by Daylight. Not only that, but a lot of people seem to agree that the older maps had a much better atmosphere and especially lighting. I personally think that Behaviuh could have just updated the actual textures without, completely changing the time of day and feel of the maps. And in all honesty, I don't really know why they're even doing these reworks anymore. Higher resolution textures mean that you need a more expensive device to play the game because of frame drops, and the reworked maps feature so little grass that it's literally a nerf to Trapper. At least with the first few Realm Beyond patches, they added a few breakable walls here and there, removed a few problematic windows, and addressed the overall balance of these maps. But what were they even thinking when they made the last rework? Not only did they completely ignore the main complaint that players had had for years, that being that the Red Forest maps, especially Mother's Dwelling, were far too big, but they also made the two maps even worse to play on as both Survivor and Killer, since they added too much unnecessary clutter that just completely ruins the experience. Not to mention that, even though the realm is supposed to represent the area surrounding Chernobyl, a city in Europe, they for some reason made the map look like it's taking place somewhere in Asia? For me, this last rework completely changed my opinion of the entire realm. I went from going, oh yeah, Red Forest, let's go, when they got a game on the map, to literally, oh shit, I want to DC. And don't even get me started on the recent Shelter Woods update. Like, what the fuck even is this? This looks absolutely nothing like Dead by Daylight. And for me at least, it's not really nostalgia that's making me think, oh, the original maps were so much better. I didn't even start playing DBD until late 2021, and I still prefer the way that the old, for example, Macmillan and Coldwind looked. At this point, I think that Behaviuh is doing these reworks and making more high quality graphics just to attract new players, which is literally a big fat middle finger in the face of DBD's original player base, who are literally the people that got the game to where it can still, to this day, maintain a significant amount of new players every single month. As Killa Whale said in one of his videos, if we take a look at other horror games, we can clearly see that they don't just dilute their brand to appeal to people outside of their niche for no reason. And that's why these games are so well respected. In my opinion, games don't always need so-called high-quality photorealistic graphics, except games like Sons of the Forest where that's literally the whole point. Instead, video games need a unique art style. This is exactly why the visuals of games like Overwatch, or even Life is Strange for that matter, still stand the test of time almost 10 years later. It's because their art style is unique, it's timeless. Even when Mojang decided to add new block textures to Minecraft, that still caused a massive controversy in the community. But at least, they gave players the option to continue playing with the old textures by introducing the so-called Programmer's Art Resource Pack. At the beginning, Fortnite clearly had one of the most unique art styles out of any game out there. but now they've completely butchered the original vision by making the visuals less cartoony and more realistic. Now, I know I'm going a little off topic here, but I'm just trying to prove a point. After 3 years, when the current DBD visuals become outdated, what are the devs gonna do? Are they going to go through the entire effort of changing every single map yet again? See what I mean? By creating something that's unique and that stands out, there isn't going to be any need to update that certain thing, because it is going to stand the test of time, it's going to be timeless. Yes, I know that DBD has clearly shifted away from its original horror vision and that's how it's going to be. But man, am I seriously going to miss the old art style when Backorder Swamp gets reworked sometime in the future. Because that realm currently is the only OG one that has yet to be reworked as part of the Realm Beyond update. I guess for now the thing we can do is to appreciate the old maps in their atmosphere. I purposefully avoided talking about character design in this video since I don't really feel like it's necessary, just because a lot of people have already made tons of videos going over stuff like the Skull Merchant not fitting in the game, etc. Anyways, let me know what you think about this down in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then consider liking it and subscribing. But yeah, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!
What's going on? What's going on? What? I don't understand what's going on here.